This has gone off the rails so fucking fast.
Change the background color to black.
This is so bad. Trying, panicking. Color source. That is why I had that there.
I don't know what to do. The only reason I took this job is because we never have to do anything.
Please let that fix it. Fuck, it didn't. Why didn't it do it? No. I think it's because the way you made it, it has a white background, you motherfucker.
It does not have a white background.
God damn it, that's not what it... Oh, yes, for all of you listening, yes, I turned the sound on so you can hear us arguing over this. This is so fucking bad. We're fixing this live.
You're wrong.
Nope, that's not gonna do it. Hold on, I wonder if I can... Oh! Oh, I almost got it. Why does the white keep getting bigger? Fuck off! This is so bad.
There is no tech issues here, Steph. This is just...
I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about. Holy fuck, there we go. Okay, let's make the picture smaller again so it's not so fucking big.
Hey, you figured it out.
Shut up.
Wow. Oh my god, I knew you had it in you.
I hate you.
Just kidding, I doubted you
So
every
much.
step of the way.
This is so bad. Why are we
Man.
Why are we retarded?
See, this is the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears that goes into a rebrand. How else are we supposed to re-franchise if we don't struggle with the logo?
Exactly. And you want to know the best part about all this? Everybody just watch that for me to do this. Fuck. Well, welcome back to episode 8, everybody.
God damn it. We were fully prepared.
Fuck. Oh, we
See, the
even went...
key to that statement is,
Oh.
even Mike, is most of
Hi,
the
Dad.
people joined kind of right as you figured it out.
Yeah,
too.
there's a bunch of people watching on Twitch already.
See, if we
Oh,
were better,
that was
we would
wild.
have programmed a sick transition, like a 2007 Microsoft PowerPoint, where like the yarn image burst into flames, revealing the tangent room image.
Okay, listen,
That would have been cool.
we can't even figure out how to make a fucking intro picture work. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah,
That
okay, I gotta.
was-
Well, that's on.
That
That's
was
right.
hell on earth.
Thanks, Ricky. I did the mostest on this one, I think. I really worked for it. And speaking of work for it, I gotta shout it out to the GOAT, the greatest to ever play the game for real, except in a game nobody cares about or nobody likes. And that is the 6-time world champion of League of Legends, the man himself, Faker.
He's still doing that?
Yeah, dude.
I actually know
they
who that
just-
is.
T1. I don't watch League of Legends esports at all, and my TikTok feed the day T1
Hello, Alex.
won at Worlds was just Faker edits. And I was like,
Wow.
I know who this dude is only because of how famous he is. The rebrand is just where we're at, to answer Ricky's question.
That may or may
Turns
not have
out-
something to do with Chris's inability
So
to check if
neither-
a name was copyrighted or not.
It wasn't copyrighted. It was just used a lot.
Can't tell me
And-
I'm wrong.
I'm not wrong because I was never right. It turns out we know zero about textile crafts. So it was suggested to me that we find a new name, and then by a friend, by a roommate. And so later that night I found the new name. But yeah, I don't listen. I don't want
Sounded
to
like you
ever.
kind of struggled there for a second. Were you trying to say the tangent room?
I don't want Will to like hit it big and then get mobbed by grandmothers because we have a podcast where we talk about nothing but everything except for yarn and yarn accessories. You know what I mean?
Oh
That's what I'm saying.
no,
When
it's
I
the
thought
South
it up,
London
and then
gang of the old ninnies.
I went so to Rookie's point, the name fits really well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went through a period of my life where like I would side tangent and like make the hand sign for like like a side tangent is a 90-degree plane on a horizontal surface, right? It's like a protruding surface on a horizontal plane, creating two 90s because it disturbs the 180. That is a side tangent. So I used to do this thing where I'd be in a conversation with people because I speak with my hands, and I saw that joke one time. I would poke my hands like I'm making a T to pause on the side, like sideways.
Is
Be like,
that
okay,
why
cool.
you
My
used to
tangent
do
real
that in
quick,
school?
and I would flip. Yeah,
Oh my god.
and it just became like a tick of having a conversation with Chris. It was just like at some point he's just gonna do a weird hand sign and change the subject.
Another level to the tism.
Tangent, yeah, the tangent tree. One tangent branches out to many more. Also, a very good name. We should have consulted Rookie on this. We have no money, but we do have good shoutouts, I think.
We have no money. Please take our good graces.
Please take our good graces. But yeah, I used to do that all the time when I was a youngster, a wee lad, as it were. I was only 5'6" at the time, which is
when
about
I
2
was a
wheels
young
tall
warthog.
for a metric an imperial.
Jesus
16.
Christ! Fucking
I know
chew
I
your
know
tongue
words.
on that one, why don't you?
Listen, I know words.
Fuck.
I word good. You tell me I word wrong.
Oh, fuck, that's almost as bad as listening to some of your voice messages about cars and shit. Did you know when you drive car go fast, car go vroom vroom fast, fast go car, fast vroom?
Car go fast. Listen, the missile knows where it is because it also knows where it isn't. It knows that by subtracting where it is from where it isn't and where it isn't from where it is.
Fuck, I forgot about that video.
Built upon a base plate of prefamulated amulite. I can say that, but I can't do simple sentences anymore, apparently.
Yeah, I know, right?
You watched an anime
Yes.
for the first time in recorded history.
Oh, yes. 100%. You know,
Yeah,
the other 120 don't count.
Known anti-anime protagonist Will has watched an anime. Tell me about Tower of God. I actually haven't seen it. I would love just a summation of it. Hold on. I watched about half of it and then I gave up. I was like, this isn't for me, and I moved on.
So, okay, fair enough. If you're wanting just a brief summary of it that also makes it sound really fucking good, think of better Sword Art Online with the aspect of Attack on Titan's finale. Because I think that is strong enough for anybody who has watched anime to really, really draw them in. Because, like, I feel like this one kind of did... Obviously, they haven't finished it. They're only on Season 2. Well, they're waiting to make Season 3 is what I should say. Season 2 is done. But the way Season 2 ended is similar to the way Attack on Titan ended, only better. And with the setting style of Sword Art Online. Because you are climbing a tower, same way as you're climbing the levels of Aincrad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot...
Oh yeah, shout out to everybody for surviving the game.
Yep, you made it.
Shout out to a year ago when we all made it out.
Yep, you made it.
A year ago, 5 days ago. I should clarify that the game was cleared. I think I sent you a bunch of TikToks about that because it was also N7 day, which we
and it took me a hard minute to realize what the fuck you were talking about at the time. But Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It feels like it goes by quickly, but that's purely just how good it is. But the show is actually very well paced, and I'm super excited for when they eventually make a season 3. But right now, it hasn't been confirmed because they're still focusing on the manga
Mhm.
or manhwa. No,
No, it's a manga.
it is a manga. I can never remember if Tower of God was Chinese or Japanese. Because I'm also watching Dragon Raya right now too, which is a manhwa, and that is a wild fucking show. But yeah, no, I really like his whole aesthetic of being the weak little bitch, and by the end of season 2, he's the guy that nobody can touch. I like those overpowered characters that start out as the one everybody has to protect, and he gets so down in the dumps that he makes a few bad decisions, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna gain immense power from this, but at what cost, kind of thing. I don't know what it is. It's just that overpowered decision, trying to help out his friends and stuff, is it's always drawn me into the character development. Because I mean, look at Ichigo, for example, in Bleach. He went
Mhm.
to the Vizards, which, I mean, in its own way was kind of a bad decision because Shinji and the rest of them weren't exactly like nice people, and they were never quite clear if they wanted to beat the shit out of the Soul Reapers or help them. And he was just like, "Hey, I'm coming here to use you to teach me how to do this." And they were like, "You know, we're gonna beat the shit out of you, right?" It's like that's a bad decision right there. But he's doing it in pursuit of more power to keep his friends safe. So I mean, I get the premise, but I
Listen,
can't
in a
say same.
world in a world full of the decision,
In a
like
world.
the in a world, um, there's always like the stereotypical depiction of like the hero versus the villain, where it's like the hero would burn the village to say like um would burn the people to save the world, and the
Mhm.
hero would burn the world to save the people.
Yeah,
Like that dichotomy of like
I've
they
kind
they
of
use
yeah, I've
they
kind of
use
taken to
opposites.
the whole villain aspect of that. That
Listen, that's why
ideal.
that is my generational tirade that Darth Vader is a understandable villain.
Fair.
I'm on his side. I've always been on the bad guy's side. I've learned.
Yeah, it took
If
me a
you're
little
telling
while.
me, if you're telling me that my family, or like not even, let's not go as far as my family, but like key members of my life, let's narrow it down to that because I definitely have some family members I'd probably let die if that was the
Jesus
option presented to me.
Christ.
But if it was like, listen, you can either save this village full of people, but the people that you care about die, or you can save the people you care about, but the village full of people die, I'm making that choice 10 times out of 10. The village gets it. I'm saving the people I care about. I
Fair.
don't care what they think about me after it's happened. Like, it's hilarious because, like, I think most of the people that I care about would probably be like, hey, thanks for saving me. And that would be the end of it. I don't know that I have that many like key figures in my life that would be like, why didn't you save the village? Except for like maybe my dad, because
Fair.
he's just a good guy.
Fair.
He's a humble bounty hunter, man.
Yep.
He's a good dude.
He's just
And
good old Mando. Just doing what he's
so,
supposed to be doing.
see,
To be fair
Ricky, your
though,
point is valid, but
but at the same time,
like
we still
that's
root
an
for the
L take,
rebels.
rebel scum.
Well, here's the thing though, in terms of what we're talking about, I still root for the rebels because the rebels don't sacrifice worlds for the greater
Okay,
good.
that's true. That's true. They're just really good at creating cannon fodder.
They I'm not going to disagree
They're
with you
just
there, but
they're really
let's
bad at training soldiers.
let's be
Like the
honest though.
depiction of the Empire versus the rebels is like
Yeah,
so one-sidedly bad you can't help but not cheer for the rebels.
it is.
And but
Um,
the key, like the I think with the exception of like, you know what, with the exception of all of them except for like Darth, like Vader himself, even Palpatine has like points where it's like, yeah, okay, I kind of get it. Um, because like in canon, or in like old canon, he had his own book,
oh,
and it was
like
really
in
good
Legends.
in Legends lore. Um, but like most of the time, with very few exceptions, most villains are. It's almost like they're more evil by association than they are pure evil. There are lots of villains that are pure evil, and those guys
Yeah,
I don't really fuck with.
they're just evil for the sake of it or for fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the the fallen angel archetype of villain, I think will always be my favorite because it's like, yeah, I get it. I would have made the same choices. Almost 1,000 to 1 odds, I'd be making the same choice.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Lost Stars.
I prime example right here, going to literally the superhero and supervillain aspects. Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
She
same here.
only, yeah, she used to be literally a fucking psychiatrist, and she only turned bad for her love for the Joker. Joker was just evil for fun because he's a psychotic prick. So that's why I never really cared about him. But Harley Quinn, I always thought was really cool because how many times throughout the comic books did we see her actually do good shit for multiple people, including Batman? How many mysteries did she help him with when Joker wasn't in the picture?
I
She,
mean,
at heart, is not a bad person.
I Joker is a weird one because like he is evil, yes, for sure. And like I would say pure evil.
Oh, yeah, like
But
even before he turned into the Joker, he was still a criminal.
he has like weird moments where you're like, okay, maybe he's just an anti-hero.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like there's lots of times where the Joker, when given the choice, will actually choose right. And
That,
it's like the Joker as a villain is like representative of like society and the way that it can push you to extremes.
yeah.
That is the iconography behind the Joker, is like some, like if you
Well,
push
and that
people too
also is
far,
that is
even like even not even necessarily like if you push a good person too far, because there's better examples of that, but like if you push a normal person to the extreme, this is what they will do, as like vin like v- not vengeance, but like a vindication of the self,
right.
where it's like it was unfair that this is done to me.
Right. Like
That's totally valid.
I'm here now causing you problems because of what you turned me into, kind of thing.
Yeah,
And but
like
that
Mike
the
said
thing
in the
with
chat, Joker is a victim of circumstance, which is a tangent to my favorite Queens of the Stone Age song, "Villains of Circumstance."
fair, I agree with that in a lot of ways because a lot of interpretations, especially in the original comic books, Joker did very much get he was it was not against his it was against his will. He fucking English hard. um he
Who's laughing now? Fire away.
shut up. He did not 100% want to be that way. He was originally just a jewel thief trying to provide for wasn't it his girlfriend or his family or something like that?
Yeah, it was like his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Sandman from the
Okay.
Marvel Cinematic Universe
Yeah.
has like the same background.
Yeah. Only except he
Sandman was a bank
genuinely
robber.
and he more or less stayed as that though after becoming the Sandman. He just used his newfound power to his ability to help with that, right? Whereas
Yeah,
Joker took it to that next level because he wanted to really emphasize the fact of like, you made me into this, now you're going to reap that reward, kind of thing, or consequence, however you look at it. But if we look at
the
Mark
best.
Hamill's adaptation of Joker throughout the 90s and early 2000s, that
Yeah, the best.
Joker was completely evil. That was just a dick who wanted to fight everybody and everything just for the sake of the party.
It's the same. Like Hamill's Joker is also Arkham Joker.
Yeah,
It's the same thing, right? Arkham Joker is just evil. There is no justification to his being. He is just here to fuck shit up. Evidence in the fact that he learns he's got a disease that's killing him, and
Yeah.
he purposefully infects Batman with it,
Hmm.
knowing it'll kill him, because that's how he gets the last laugh, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is
Which,
it's
for a lot of people who are watching this that don't know about the Arkham series, I will be streaming it soon now that I own everything, including Suicide Squad Death of the Justice League.
that's I don't know if I'd play the last one on that list.
Well, because
But
believe it or not, that actually does tie in to the ending of the Arkham
yeah, but it's a
series.
bad game.
I won't disagree with you there. It's a bad game in the same way that Star Wars Outlaws is a bad game, but I still want to play it so that I can experience it for myself, if you know what I mean.
I can, I can relate to that. Um,
Because then I can look at it once I, finish it and go, you know what? You're right. That was a piece of shit. But I mean, there's been plenty of games that I've been told were bad, and I'm sure you've been told were bad as well, and then we've played it and been like, you know what? I actually really enjoyed that on a personal level. Like, there's a lot of people. You just lost all sound, my guy. I see you fucking mumbling in your camera, but nothing. Did your headset just die?
there it is.
There it is. Okay.
There it is.
Yeah, exactly, Rookie. Like watching a terrible movie on purpose. You would not believe how many B and C rated movies I actually own on DVD purely just because of the personal enjoyment I get out of it. One that comes to mind, The Warrior's Way. Literally about a ninja assassin who left his clan after being told to assassinate a baby from an enemy clan. He chose, no, I'm going to protect this baby. Took it all the way to the west in this like random hillbilly town full of gold miners and drunkards and stuff like that, that literally had two buildings standing still in the town. It was literally a bar and a laundromat. And hid out there, dealt with some cowboy gangs, and then his clan came and found him, and him and his master had a fight on the top of this sand dune, less than 100 yards away from the town, while everybody just stood around and watched. And the CGI is so fucking bad that I swear to God, when a lot of the people are flying through the air, you can see the fucking cables on them. It's so bad, but I get personal enjoyment out of it just for how fucked up it is.
I don't watch a lot of B and C tier movies. It's one of those weird things for me where like I enjoy the comedic value that they have, so when I do watch them, I enjoy them. But
Yeah.
like I will never make the conscious decision to sit down and watch one of my own volition. I have anything else I could do with my time. I could just go to bed. Um, it's it's one of those things where it's like I just rather do something else. If that's what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna do that. Like if my options are do this or just call the day, I'm calling the day. I'm just going just go to bed. Um,
Fair. And see, for me, the comedic relief is watching all of the shit that happens in it that is so bad. But there
that's yeah,
again, you and your brother like Ghost of Tsushima, right?
yeah.
I'm sure you remember how many people ragged on that game when it came out, and even to this day still rag on it, and they get mad and bitch about Ghost of Yotai just because it's the it's another version of Ghost of Tsushima, just with a different character. Basically, people are still bitching about it just purely because it's made by that company now. They look for reasons to
Uh,
bitch just because, and they think that people should listen to their opinion because that's their God-given grace. That's not how it works. I want to experience it for myself.
I think the big rag on Yote, there was two of them that I remember specifically. One of them was that the protagonist was a woman. which
Yeah.
is wild. Because like female um female warriors did exist in that time,
Right. But they
and
just
like
weren't as
in
well known.
Tsushima, you meet the first of them.
Right.
Um, and then like the second one was that like yes, it's not a
Fair
continuation
rookie.
of Jin, like Jin Sakai's story.
Right. Right.
Um,
But it's
because like
this
in
new
story,
story.
well, like I kind of understand the gripe about it not being a direct continuation. The problem with that is that like there was no like other than I guess just turning the rest of his story into a slice of life anime, there's really nothing there. Like
That's yeah. That's what I mean though, is like they're bitching about it just because that's what they want personally out of the hundreds of thousands of people that play it. And it's like, I'm sorry, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but the devs are not going to listen to even 100 people over the like 70,000 people that said, "Hey, we're cool with this." You know?
yeah, it's a weird one in the way that like it's always that minority of people that get heard.
Yeah.
It's like every reviewer, every streamer, YouTuber that's played either like because even Tsushima didn't have a lot of people that were like super great. They're like super
Right.
stoked about it because they
Right.
were like, this is a dumb story. And then like at the end of the day it came out as a massive success because of course it did. It's a great game. So like Yote I think got a lot of that too, where it was like, well, it's just more of Tsushima. It's not that great a game. It's like, no, it is a great game. And the story it tells is fantastic. And it's great because it's new. It's not like even Yote. I had this conversation with my roommate before he went back to work, where we were talking about like I like remasters of games because I like
Right.
seeing
Yeah.
an older game with like basically like a fresh coat of paint. I like seeing what it
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
like and how it would be if they'd made it today, right? So they just announced that they're remaking the first Halo again.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Campaign and combat evolved.
yeah, so it's Halo Campaign Evolved is what they're
Yeah.
calling it. It's got 4-player co-op. They've redone some of the difficulty scaling. It looks very good. It's in Unreal 5, which is good because they kind of had to ditch the engine that they had. Um, it's um,
Yeah.
it's gonna be good. Like it's Halo. Okay, it's a good game. I'm excited for it. And I was talking to my roommate. He was just like, yeah, but why couldn't they just make something new? Like, yeah, okay, you're right. I do agree with that point too. There's a lot of Halo to explore. You've, I think, touched some of the books, so you have a bit of an inkling about like the universe at large. There's lots of stuff they could have covered. And like we're going back to the first one. The thing about this that I like is that this is them testing the waters on evolving the engine and
Mm.
then also figuring out if people are willing to go back and play the old games.
Right, because wasn't this
So like
this is on, is it the Frost engine?
it's on Unreal 5 and then Rookie said it's a mix between Unreal 5 and their original engine, which is what they used for Infinite,
Right,
which is
wasn't
why it looks kind of like Infinite.
right.
Um I can't remember what they call it, but
I
they
thought that
have
was the
some
Frost
new name
engine.
for it. Maybe I don't. I'd have to Google it.
Fair.
But so they're going to bring this game to a generation of gamers that might have never played it. Slipspace, that's what they called it. Thanks, Rookie.
Ah, okay.
And then Frostbite is what Dice used for Battlefield 3 and 4. It's Frostbite 2.
That's
And
what I was
then
thinking of. Yeah.
if this game does well, they're going to remake 2 and 3 for sure. Like that's the next step. So
God
two
damn it, Stephanie.
two got a really good treatment with the Master Chief Collection. Like
Yeah.
the cutscenes and the visuals of it are all significantly better.
Hmm.
Um, for like the remastered iteration of it, I am curious to see how it looks if they redo it, because like the part of combat campaign evolves that they're doing is they're bringing, like, with games like movies, you always have stuff that gets left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
So like, whether it be you cut it because they don't have enough time to develop it completely, or it's just not like it, they can't find a way for it to fit. They've said it in their Vidoc that they were bringing a lot of that stuff back. So they're reusing a lot of their original assets and a lot of the original documents that they have from when the
Yeah.
game was developed originally to add to it this time. So that'll be cool too, because like I'm sure there's a lot of that for 2 and a lot of that for 3.
Hmm.
And then if they do if those do well, I think we could see ODST and Reach again, which would be like actually phenomenal because those are probably my 2 favorite Halo games.
I I
Bar
would
none.
I would agree with you. Reach is my favorite. I do really enjoy ODST. I enjoy
I
its
loved
storyline.
ODST.
I think some of the problems it had though was the visuals, like when you're trying to stealth through the city and it's raining. That rain makes it next to fucking impossible because the graphic texture for the rain is just almost like a solid wall in some of the like some places. And so you have no idea that you're walking right up on a fucking berserker or something and it's like, "Oh shit."
I see the rain in ODST is I think what makes that game bearable.
I liked
The
it, but like I
idea
said,
that you're
some
there,
spots it's just the texture was way too heavy. And it like you
I
couldn't see
liked
through it.
I liked the fact that you play as the rookie as he scours the city after the battle is done.
Yeah.
Everything has already happened. You were too late, effectively. Your drop pod knocked you out, and then you came to, you don't even know when, and now you're in the city trying to figure out what happened to your
You're
squad, and you
retracing
go
steps.
through it. It adds to the tone of the game.
I do like the
It's why the
mystery
rain makes
aspect.
sense.
Yeah. And it, like I said, the rain does. I'm not balking the rain like it shouldn't be there at all. I just think that because of what they were using at the time for textures and stuff like that, some of the places they made it a little too thick and heavy. So it would make it really hard to see unless you were using some sort of like the heat vision or something through a scope so you could see where enemies were close up.
Hmm.
Because I remember a few
Yeah,
times
there's
where I split off from Fred and Tony while playing it, and then I just turned the corner and I'm right in front of a jackal, and it's like, oh fuck.
yeah, Ricky's got a point. In the 360 version, it didn't have rain. They used
Oh.
um they used a filtering system to make it, because it does look like it's raining, but it's not raining, which is why the original ODST looks kind of similar, but it only works in certain parts of the map.
Right.
So like for the most part, you're just walking around in the dark. Yeah, they use sounds too. Um, but like everything about ODST is great. I think like just like the soundtrack, the way the game flows. I like that it just, the one bit that I struggled with when I played it the first time was knowing where to go,
Right.
which looking back is a cool thing because like it does give you an inkling of where to go, but you
Yeah.
can walk around the same area
It
for a
is
while
it is
and have
partially open
no
world with
clue
that
what you're
stuff, yeah.
missing. Yeah, it's like the mission where you have to pick up the, I want to say it's the Spartan sniper rifle or something
Mm.
like that, and
Yep.
it's bent in
Yeah.
half, and he picks it up like, but it's hanging on a downed power line. I walked around that, like that plaza for an hour before the game was finally like, it's right here.
Yeah.
And then I looked over and I was like, so it is?
The game
And I
finally
walk
gave you a
over and
pity
then,
hint.
yeah, and then I walked over and you get probably the funniest cutscene in that whole game, which is the rookie picks up the sniper and then he tries to bend it back. It's like the best illustration of you're playing a regular dude, not a Spartan.
I don't know if I ever saw that cutscene. I don't remember that.
It is the cutscene that plays before you start that mission. It's part of the sequence where he picks the rifle up and he tries to bend it back, and it doesn't, like, he's not a Spartan, right? He's just not within his ability.
Yeah, I think
Um,
when I played it with Fred and Tony, I think it might have
it might have
been
skipped that.
possible. Either that or it might have been Fred that picked it up. I honestly don't remember. To
Yeah,
be
that's possible
fair,
too.
Halo was my first long series I streamed on the channel.
Yeah,
So, I mean, that was almost, fuck, 2.5 years ago now?
now you know
Wild.
how it feels. For me, when we were talking about Mass Effect, and I couldn't remember anything.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess thinking about it that way, I've been streaming the Mass Effect games for almost
almost a year and a
eight.
half.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yep. And how far into Andromeda are you now?
Maybe 5%.
Okay,
EOS's
what?
viability is over 80%. Like
Okay, so
I've already gone
you're almost done with EOS.
I've gone back to the Nexus and done the next round of missions there, like collecting and finalizing side missions and stuff. Like the
Yeah,
Nilkin murder case. That
yeah,
guy is a piece of shit. Uh,
yeah. Did you leave him or did you set him free?
I only set him free because I felt bad for Mariette, his wife, under the pretext that he had
Okay.
to tell the truth. And then I went back to the Hyperion to see Scott because you can talk to him through the neural implant.
Yep.
And Nilkin was sitting across the bed, and I walked up to him. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Well, I told the truth, and Mariette left me, so I just want to go back to sleep. And I was like, "Ha!"
Yep. So yeah, you let him stay on the Nexus. You didn't
Yeah, no,
exile
I
him.
didn't exile him. Yeah, because I didn't want to put Mariette through that.
So I exiled him.
Oh God. Okay. How did
Um,
that go?
I don't know yet.
That's where you are?
I looked I looked up a guide, and no, I'm well ahead of that. I looked up a guide on that decision because I was like, what? Like, just give me spark notes.
What's the
What's the
best
chopping
outcome?
block on this? So if you let him remain, Mariette leaves him, and he goes back into cryo. If you exile him, you can meet him and Mariette later in the game.
So
I
wait,
don't know where,
if you exile
but
him, Mariette stays with him?
yes.
So that means he didn't tell the truth then if you exile him.
No, he does. It
What the
is
fuck?
stated that in both outcomes he tells her what he did, but if you exile him, she comes with him, and
Interesting.
then you can meet them both on a later planet that
Interesting.
exists. So that means you have not gone to the Golden World.
No, we actually were just talking about it. Um, with like Tan,
Oh,
Kesh.
Tanway. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Tan can. Director Tan can go fuck himself. Every
Where you
chance I
have
get to,
the showdown with him
every chance I get
over
to be
like
snarky with him, I am.
I've found every time I'm one on one with him, I like disagree with him violently,
Oh,
and then every
same.
time it's
It's
like
so
here's a
amusing.
committee, it's like, okay, listen, maybe he has kind of a point. It's like I'm here to tell you I can't fucking stand you, but also I'm not gonna like ruin your life. It's
It's nice to know we're on the same trip with that because
I'm
when
really enjoying
when
no
Kesh
morality system.
yeah, when Kesh and Kandros show up during that meeting in the like N7 hall there where Director Ton
Yeah,
hangs
the
out.
Pathfinder room.
Yeah. Um
Yeah,
I
the
immediately was
room
like, okay,
is
well we should
served
do
for
this,
the
we should do
Pathfinder.
this.
It's only opened when the Pathfinder arrives that he's just in. Like,
Yeah,
hey, dude,
he's
this is
chosen
my
that.
room.
Yeah, he's chosen that as his office. It's like, hey, keep in mind you were eighth in line, fucko. I love that Kesh reminds him of that as much as possible.
Kesh is probably one of my favorite of the Nexus officers.
Kesh, I actually really enjoy Kandros. I like Kandros.
Kandros is
Um,
cool too.
I just finally met Syax, his lieutenant.
Yep.
She's pretty cool, but I don't really know her well enough. I've been having a lot of fun at fuck, what was it they called it? Was it the Vector Bar or Victory Bar or Nectar or
Um,
something like that? The dude who thinks he's a like a chemist, and everybody drinking
yes.
in his bar is just lab rats.
Uh-huh.
Oh fuck! I
Um,
get a kick out of them. Please tell me
yeah,
you
the
got drunk.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah,
I have
yeah, you
a
did.
couple times. Every time I go back is the first place I go.
I've only gotten drunk the once because I haven't left and come back yet. I am on the ship right now to go back to EOS to finish the second round of side missions. But
You
yeah,
should you should let EOS sit for a minute and continue the plot.
like do one more mission
Like,
then go back. Because I have some missions I need to go and hand in EOS, like talk to Mayor Bradley.
oh yeah, okay. So when you activate the vault,
Yeah,
the game tells you to let the planet sit for a minute
right.
so that it can
Yes,
recover.
the radioactivity can go away.
You have to leave the planet and continue the story for that to function.
So leaving the planet isn't enough. You need to continue the plot even a little bit for it
Yes,
to.
you have to go and like I don't know at what point it becomes like livable again. Um, but I went back after finding the next story bit.
Right.
And like when we were talking, I think it was last week, and I was just running side quests in Andromeda,
Yeah.
no hazard level anywhere
Interesting.
at all.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just do. Were you drinking apple pie? No, I actually haven't had that in a while, Dad. Fuck. I wish though. That would be nice. Um.
So that is my advice on your Andromeda playthrough. The side like because for one, lots of the side quests on EOS, you're just not like the ones that you have left, you will not be able to do with hazard level 3 radiation.
I
You
noticed.
can't
Yeah, I found that out the hard
you
way.
can't get between forward stations fast enough. You have to leave. And then when you come back, the character I told you about, you will be able to meet him later when you come back and the hazard level goes away.
Like, oh,
Um,
Nilkin? Or
nope.
I don't remember who you're talking about.
You'll know it. You'll know him when you see him.
Yeah, fair.
Um,
Oh, right. Yes, him.
yeah,
Merc's
yeah,
son.
yeah.
I'm not saying his name because spoiler.
So that would be my advice: is continue the main story because it'll open up the next two planets. Um,
Right.
and it takes you a while to get there. The game becomes conversation simulator for about 4 story quests,
I'm
and
not
then
surprised.
it's like, all right, cool. Like if you want to do the thing, you can go here or here, and this is what you have to do here or here. Um, Here's a fun one, and this you won't have had this on EOS, but something that you will find on the next planets. Actually, I only know about the one. I don't know about the other one yet. Something I learned is that you can do pretty much everything on the planet before you continue the story. I
On
learned that totally by accident.
on the second
So
planet?
like, yes, because
Ah,
so
I'm assuming there's no
I'll tell you,
radioactivity then.
there's two planets that open up once you gain access to them. There's a
Right.
planet called Havarl, and
Right.
there's a
Yep.
planet called Vold.
Yes. Because I did before I
I
did anything else. After the first mission says scan some of these planets, I went through every system I had access to and scanned every fucking planet because I'm that person. So I do know those names. Yes.
well, you shouldn't know Vold because Vold is not in the area of the map you have access to. Havarl is.
Havarl is. Yes.
So you can go to either of those two planets next. I went to Vold,
Okay.
which is an ice planet.
Right.
The game is like hey, bring this squad mate with you because they're important to the plot. And I went, sure. Deployed, forgot him, got sidetracked again, got sidetracked a little bit more. And then by the time I was like, the planet's viability is at like 90%. And I'm like, where's the main story? And then I went back into the journal tab and realized I had not been on the priority ops menu the whole time.
You've been on the
I'd been
Vold
Helios
assignments.
assignments.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
because every time you meet someone, it pops up in the Vold assignments.
Because it's
And so
specific to
like
that. Yep.
it started with, hey, can you go check out these drop spots? And then I get to a drop spot, it's like, hey, can you go check out this? And I get to that and be like, it just kind of daisy chained really well. And then I'm like, I've been on this planet for 6 hours. I've activated the vault. I still haven't done the main story for this planet.
Yeah.
And then I went back and did the main story. And by the time I started the main story, I was at 96% planet viability and I had an outpost.
Nice.
And then I figured out how to do the main story because when I first showed up, I
Uh-huh.
didn't have the party member that you needed to bring in my loadout.
Right, right.
So I tagged him out, then figured out that I'd missed the thing completely because you'll get to a point, and you'll know it when you see it, where if you have the right party member, you'll at the first forward station on the planet, you'll be going down in the Nomad, and he'll be like, just follow the lights. If you follow the lights, you do not go to the story mission. You go the wrong way.
Oh.
Yeah, so you hit a point as you're going down this path, and it opens up, and you can see the lights hit the ground and go right.
Uh-huh.
You need to go left there. And I went right and just started doing random. I just like, yep, I'm pathfinding, baby. Job title secured.
Why would he
So
tell you to follow the lights then if it's the wrong way?
I don't know. Genuinely, I have no clue.
Like
But I
that's
had
an
like
AI
all
fuck
of
up.
this. I had all the memory nodes. I had all the scan for minerals. I'd scanned all the wildlife. I'd finished
Nice.
like there's a military outpost that you can take out there if you meet the right person. So I met that person by accident. They were like, "You should take out this military outpost with us," and I was like, "Bet."
And
Um,
sure.
easy work. I'm an infiltrator. This will take me 15 seconds,
Oh,
and it
yeah,
did.
that's right. You are a stealth guy.
So hilariously, we were talking about like stealth games in my playstyle. It's still bad, but like tactical cloak on top. It's like, and I put on my robe of invisibility and I run straight at the objective. So that's been really funny for me. Is that like I was thinking about that today actually because I was like, I wonder how far he got, and I'm at the next set of planets ahead of you. I'm about to go to the third planet because I'm totally done on the second one. Like I've finished the story now, and
I will admit my
yeah,
pacing on this stuff is you probably would have time to finish that game twice by the time I finish it once because I missed so
that's why I've been
much.
distracting myself with Final Fantasy.
Fair. I missed so much stuff throughout the first, second, and third games because I didn't know what I was looking for. That I have kind of dedicated myself to making sure that I talk to everybody like a minimum of twice before I leave a spot, just to make sure. Because, for instance, one of
How
the
many how
greatest.
many times have you entered the galaxy map to have either the pilot or I think her name is like Suvi go,
Suvi,
"Hey
yes.
Pathfinder, when you got a second, can we chat?" It's
Actually
like, "Hey,
none because as
I
soon as
just
I
entered the map."
thankfully none because as soon as I enter the room with them, I am talking to both of them. Like Callow, I got him to
Mhm.
gossip about all of the shipmates already And then when I got to the point of asking him what he thought about me, he kind of chuckled and he's like, "Well, hey now, I don't want to get in trouble." And I kept tapping that button over and over to make sure that I wasn't missing it. It was just a matter of you had to push him a little bit. So after like the third of, "Hey now, I don't want to get in trouble," I was like, "Okay, I'll just leave it there then." But that's why is because like I talked to Suvi twice because both times she had something different to tell me, and then I entered the map.
My favorite Suki dialogue has to be where she talks about the fact that she's Christian.
Yeah, I had that. I
She's
had that
like, yeah, I'm
conversation.
highly religious. It's like, that's, hey, you know what? Weird flex, but okay, like, yeah, sure.
I told her that I
And
didn't. All right, good night, rookie. It's all good. Halo is good. Halo ranting is not bad. Um,
we're here for the tangent about Halo.
yep. I told Suvi that she shouldn't feel bad about her
Yeah, me too.
Christianity, and
I was like, don't feel bad about it, and hey, don't feel bad about your family either. By the way,
yeah,
they probably sucked.
her response was, "It's nice to not have to explain and justify myself," and I was like, "Fucking feel that."
Mhm. She is weirdly downtrodden about the whole thing, and it's just like, I know this is going to sound wild in retrospect, but if you were going to beat yourself up about it, why even make the jump? Like, I did.
Yeah,
It was weird to me, like when she talks about like the thing and like her religion or whatever, and I made the conscious decision to tell her like, hey, don't be a missionary. Like, don't do that. Like, that's not, hey,
don't
that's not what we're here.
don't do that to yourself.
Um, like, don't take it upon yourself to bring your religion to these, like, to the new people that we might meet. Just like, be cool with yourself. If anybody asks, explain it. If they don't get it, who cares? Fuck them. Like, just do your own thing, dog.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But yeah, I went to Vold second. And then like where I'm at right now, I should go back
Wait.
to.
I thought you went to Vold first. Do you mean Harvard, Havarl, or Havarl?
Sorry, I went to, yeah. Out of the two new planets, I went to Vold first. I meant to say like in my order of planets, Vold is second
Right.
because I
Right.
went there
Yes.
second.
Okay. Yes.
But I now have two 100% viability planets.
Fair.
Long story short,
And
and like
you don't get anything special from having it 100%ed.
you
Just
get extra Nexus points actually.
oh, you do.
Yeah, you
So
get one
okay.
extra Nexus point for a 100% viability
So
planet.
that helps
Um,
towards. Does that help towards your AVP points for bringing people out of stasis?
correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the Nexus points or whatever.
Yeah.
Andromeda viability points,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, the thing you meant or you're talking about. That's what I meant. Um, so like that's cool. I'm excited to go to the third planet because I don't want to go because like when I finished the story on Vold, it was like, okay, cool, go back to this hub world that is where the next part of the story will take you. And that's how you gain access to the two new planets. So I was like, well, maybe I go back to Havarl first because like I'm done on Eos. I've got to wait for Vold
Right.
because like the vault has to do its thing. So what if I went to Havarl first and then I went back and I could turn in like all the story quests at the same time? And I think that's probably what I'm going to do because I was like, I don't want to go back and talk to the person at the hub world because I just don't want to deal with them.
That's fair.
Wasn't a huge fan of them, but like also they were all like they're not like a bad character or like a character that you don't like. I just didn't enjoy them. I was like, I don't want to talk to you if I don't have to. Thanks.
They're not director Ton level bullshit. They're just not
No,
interesting enough.
they're just their point of view on you is justified given the story, like given the setting of the game. But it's just like I don't want to deal with you because I could do any. It's like watching a B movie. I could do anything else. So I'm gonna go hit 100% viability and establish an outpost on another one of your planets, and then I'll come back and talk to you. Because
Let's
better to ask for forgiveness, they say.
let's be honest. Andromeda itself, I have come to learn, is a B-rated game.
So I agree with you. However, before we started, I saw a really great article. I read a good chunk of it. Came out 5 days ago. It was written by Ari Notice of Polygon, and the title is worked out that we were going to talk about Andromeda anyways. Mass Effect Andromeda deserved better.
Yeah.
The Black Sheep of BioWare's franchise holds its own against the original trilogy. I don't necessarily agree with that specific take.
Mm,
So the article largely just talks about how much shit Andromeda got,
right.
and I assume that this guy recently played the game in the same way that you and I are. Whether he played it when it came out like I did in 2017, or what, like if he just like picked it up recently and was like, this game doesn't suck. Um,
Right.
on like his first run through, I don't know, but it's a really good kind of look at how Andromeda aged, I think, because nothing about that game is actually bad, except for the animations. Like the faces are
That's
kind of bad,
yeah. That's what
but
I
that's
mean
it.
when I
Like
say it's bad.
that's the biggest deterrent to that game is the facial animations, because it
Yeah.
came out in that weird era where we learned we could motion capture faces, but we didn't know how to do it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I agreed with a lot of what he said as I was reading through it. I was like, you're right. And like the reason why it got so much flack was because it should have been another mainline game and it wasn't.
Right.
So
I mean, I get.
that was cool to see. Was that like it's getting some recognition after like years of like I remember I was playing it and like one of my roommates was in the office with me and I was like, you know what? I I didn't give this game nearly enough credit. Like it was actually pretty good. And we were talking about it and I was like it's fun. Like it is just a fun game. And like
I
that's all it had to be.
I agree with you. It is enjoyable. I have been liking it because I've been able to look at it from the aspect of, hey, if I treat this as a standalone game, even though it shares the name of a very, popular original trilogy, but if I treat it as a standalone game in the playstyle of Halo Infinite, this is actually pretty good. The animations make it funny for me. I'm not saying it's horrible. I think it's actually fucking hilarious watching them talk to each other, especially from the side view when all you see is their cheeks and lips moving, but they're not matching up to the words, and it literally just looks like blah 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 blah, and they're making the duck lips when they talk because they're trying to make sure the lips are pronunciating. I love it. It's amazing, hilarious.
Yeah.
Um,
It reeks of technology it didn't have.
yeah, exactly.
Like
But
like if that game was made again today, it would probably be much better. Just from
oh
like
yeah,
a visual standpoint.
I get why it's not part of the mainline story though, and they just canonically stuck it wherever it made sense, like in between Mass Effect 2 and 3. That's when they launched the ships, was, that 6 months to a year range before the Reapers showed up. I get it, because they were like, okay, well, this is Mass Effect, so we need to make it fit somewhere, otherwise people are going to be mad. So they did it,
Hmm.
but they really had
They
nothing to
could have
go off of after Mass Effect 3, though. It doesn't matter what outcome you chose, the end result was still the same, that the Reapers were no longer going to be a problem. What were they going to do with that after that if they made another mainline Mass Effect?
well that's the interesting bit because N7 Day confirmed that they are working on the new Mass Effect game and it will be a mainline game that takes place after the third. So they're gonna have to canonize an ending. And which one they choose, I think, will be Synthesis because it's the only one that makes sense. But
That's the one
like,
I chose, yeah.
there's no reason why Andromeda couldn't have taken place after 3 at all, whatsoever. If Andromeda's ships had left after 3, it would have had no bearing on the story. If anything, they could have used it to tag in more of the original game's crew members that they didn't want to have to explain like the history of what happened to them in another mainline game. Like, you've been back to Samnode on the Hyperion,
Correct.
so you've gained access to Liara's notes.
That were in his bedroom? Like in your dad's bedroom? Yeah.
Yes.
Alec, I think his name was?
Alec.
Yeah.
In
I've listened.
In Alec's room,
I've listened to all of them.
you gain access to Dr. Liara Tassoni's research,
which I thought was cool.
And how you could use that information to talk to, or like to research a different alien race, which is hilarious, depending on how long it takes you to get them, like those notes specifically, because it's like she's talking about this speculatively and you're like, I just fought the Remnant for like 5 hours.
Yeah,
they're real, they exist. And then I do wish the game gave you a choice to like send those to someone, because I would have definitely given them straight to my main girl, PB.
I was gonna say PB. Yep.
Without a doubt, like she would have gotten them, because she is this game's Liara. She's just like
she is a fucking wild card
version. I love PB so much. She is my favorite NPC of this game, without a doubt. I have enjoyed her the most as a companion. Her and Drac.
See, for me, I think it would have to be Vetra and Drac.
Yeah. The dynamic between Garrus Stan. This guy's got a thing. Watch out.
Maybe.
But the dialogue between PB and Drac is hilarious when you're in the Nomad, because they talk while you're in the Nomad.
Right.
Very similar, like how like your companions would talk in the Mako and the Hammerhead. And PB's always complaining about like riders driving. And there's a bit, and I think I got it on EOS the first time, where she's like, "Are you seriously sleeping right now, old man?" And she just knocks on how old he is. And then the more you take them with you, the more their dialogue evolves into like PB asking Drac what it's like to be as old as he is, and then like Drac talking to PB about his life and being curious about what it's like to be so young in a species that lives to be so old, like that, because they're like opposite ends of the spectrum, right? Like PB's 100 and some, and Drac is like 350, about 350. So Drac's dying, like he is old, he's going to die,
right?
And PB is young and has lots of like will have Drac's lifespan and then some.
Yeah. And
it's a really fun dichotomy, because like Drac starts talking to her like she's his daughter.
Interesting.
As they travel together more and more, and he's just like, it's pretty, like he'll reference battles, like fights. He'll be like, "It was pretty cool how you did that thing back there," and she'll be like, "Thanks, old man." And they have a really fun dynamic that I enjoy a lot. And then you bring like the 6th crew member, and his conversation with like everybody is wild, because he's a member of a species from the Andromeda Galaxy, is all I'm going to tell you about that.
Right.
And some of the shit that he says is wild. It's just so strange.
You know who I've been really sticking with Vetra and Harper when I go on missions, because
Cora?
Cora is so straight-laced by the book, because she's an Accessory Huntress. I love the fact that Vetra rips on her for being so straight-laced. Like when you're driving around the Nomad, or when you're looking at something and Cora's like, "I think we should do this," and then Vetra sidelines her with, "Well, it's a good thing you're not the Pathfinder." Knowing the backstory, knowing the backstory that
It's a
Korra was
good thing you're
supposed to
not
be the
Pathfinder.
Pathfinder, it's fucking amazing. I love listening to the passive aggressiveness between them. It's hilarious. And then when you get on the ship, the Tempest, and you find Vetra hanging out in the armory where you think Korra would be, and fucking Korra's in the vegetation area making plants with Sam, and it's like, what is happening here? Well, I come here for peace and quiet. Man, it'd be sure
Yeah.
nice if we had some roses on board, but it's just a flower. And then you go and talk to Vetra, and Vetra's like, yeah, I don't know why the fuck she's obsessed with flowers. Vetra, I can't tell if she genuinely hates Korra or she's just confused by her existence. But I love it either way. I also love the scene where you walk into Vetra talking on the phone, and it's to her sister,
Her sister.
and her
Yeah.
sister is on the other end, like, who's that? Who's that? Is that the Pathfinder? Is that Ryder? Is that her?
A huge Pathfinder stan. It's just like, oh my god,
Yeah,
tell him I said hi.
And Vetra's like, shut
And
up!
then she's like, quit embarrassing me at work.
Did you run into her
That's-
sister on the Nexus?
I haven't yet.
Oh,
I don't know if you do.
yeah, I
I
did.
would be curious to know if you do.
I
You
did.
can.
As soon as I left EOS the first time here, I literally, like
Really?
I said, I go and I talk to everybody. She's down by where you originally talked to the first 3 scientists that give you the mineral scans. By the
Okay,
yeah, you come straight up out of the Hyperion, for example, and you're in the area where Mariette and Liam hang out on the right side with
Yeah,
Kandros.
the far
And
end
then-
of that room.
Yeah, where all the terminals are. That's where her sister is. And I was doing one of the side missions where you're going through and trying to find out why all these electronics are short circuiting, and you're scanning them.
Yep.
You go to one of the
Exactly.
terminals up there, and all of a sudden this fucking Turian beside you is like, "Oh my god, it's you! I've heard so much about you. My sister has told me so much about you." Obviously, in a respectful, work professional kind of way, not a creepy way. And I'm just like, "Who the fuck are you?" And she's like, "I'm Vetra's little sister." Oh. I
Oh, I know who you are now.
found my stalker. Yay.
Yeah. I can't wait to exit this conversation as fast as possible.
Oh, it's so awkward at the end because you're just literally pulling like a Conrad Vernier move where you're like, "Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, that's cool." And then it gets really awkward for a split second and she's like, "Well, I should probably get back to work, but it was nice meeting you." And then just turns and stonewalls you. There is no dialogue options while talking to her either. That is just the route the conversation takes. Like, you just have a solid 10 seconds of talking, and she just gets really awkward very quickly. And she's like, "Well, I'm going to go back to work now." And then just
Yeah.
180s and
I should do my
ignores you.
job. That's funny.
No, there's been a lot
That
of
is-
shit in that game that I have enjoyed so far.
It's very Turian of her.
It is. It very much is. Although, the one thing I find particularly amusing about Director Tan is, am I the only one picking up an Indian accent when he talks?
Yep.
Like that.
No, that's there.
That
exists.
is hilarious.
That's real.
I love it so much. I haven't looked up to see who his voice actor was, but I love it so much. Every time he talks, I don't know if I should take him seriously or not. But then I fuck with him anyways, because it's just so easy. Like, the no Paragon and no Renegade options are just so easy to be passive aggressive with people.
Do you want to know who voiced Director Tan?
Who is it?
Kumail Nanjiani.
Fuck. Oh. That, didn't he do... Fuck, wasn't he in Stuber with, Dave Bautista?
Maybe. I'm just
Like, I know he
actively
was...
searching.
I know he was in the Eternals, the superhero movie.
Yep.
I believe he was also in Fist Fight with Ice Cube and Charlie Day.
Yeah.
That's that one about the teachers. Oddly enough, this is gonna be weird and show a little bit of my nerdiness when it comes to Lego. I know for a fact that Kumail was in the 2017 Lego Ninjago movie because he played Jay. But shut up! I don't want to hear it. Um,
I didn't say nothing.
he was in Adventure Time.
Yes, he was. He's Prismo.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Who the fuck was he in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show?
He was one of the Path rebels.
Oh, Haja
When
Estri.
Obi-Wan just yeah, when Obi-Wan discovers like the path that they used to smuggle Force sensitives
Right.
and like people to the resistance movement, he's one
Yep.
of those guys.
Yeah, I actually know who Haja Estri is from like the lore and stuff. Not I didn't know he played him though. Huh.
Yeah, he's been a little bit all over.
Yeah. No, that's really cool.
He's in lots of stuff. Yeah.
I honestly not like knowing that that's him makes it so much better now when I talk to Tan because it's so much more fun to be passive aggressive with him now.
That's right. That's who he was. He was the fake
Rookie, I
Jedi.
thought you were going to bed.
Thank
God
you,
damn it!
Rookie. Go to bed.
Well, yeah, because
Don't worry about the Halo rant.
he
You're
was
good.
just a force sensitive that was like a peacekeeper for that route, wasn't he? Like for
No,
the
he's not. He's not Force sensitive. That's the whole bit behind his character. He's
right
just a
fake,
guy.
fake. Yes,
He's a
he
fake
the
Jedi.
persona, the persona.
I'm not really a Jedi. I just play one on TV and movies.
But you know, us talking about how bad Andromeda is, but also how good it is at the same time, and thinking about all the things that could have been that weren't with this game. Um, it really makes because like Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, the whole reason for the Paragon and Renegade systems, right, was partially to teach you the consequences of your actions. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the choices you make affect your future. With that not being a part of this game, it really takes away from the fact of like, I don't know what path I'm traveling now. This is very random and wild, and there's no set precedence. It's not really teaching you anything. It's just kind of turned into a full mindless open world game. Whereas the first three, you know, it was teaching you lessons along the way of the choices you were making.
Yeah, I'm not a super fan of so like in the main lines when you had to make a big decision, you
That's fair,
always
rookie.
had you always had like the compass of Paragon and Renegade. Like you knew, okay, top is Paragon, middle's neutral, bottom's Renegade.
Wait,
That's almost
wait,
always the order. That
wait.
never changes.
Hold on.
If there's a special prompt, it'll appear on the left-hand side. The dialogue is all the right-hand side of the wheel. Pick what you're after and go from there. Oh, the stream just died on Twitch.
Yeah, it just. Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yep.
I don't know what happened, but for whatever reason, OBS just said, hey, we just shit the bed, now we're restarting.
Nice.
So there's going to be 2 part 8s of the podcast now. Thank you,
Hell
OBS, for nothing, you useless piece of shit. Meanwhile, YouTube is
Part
still
8
going strong.
Part 8.2.
Yep.
YouTube out here repping it for the gang. The back to the morality of Mass Effect. Going from the mainline games where everything is clear cut to this game. I understand why in this game not having morality does make some semblance of sense because like you have no way of knowing how it will affect you. But I still dislike Um,
The no Paragon and no Renegade system.
yeah,
The no
the A
morality
over
system.
the A over B decisions. Do you go A route or B route?
Yeah.
Is bad. It's not enjoyable because you and like I it makes sense within the frame of the game, but like I miss it because I don't know like what the objectively right choice is,
Right.
which is supposed to be true of the situation. Like I guarantee you, if you were to play as like Alec Ryder, like the original Pathfinder through this game,
Uh huh.
it probably would have had a morality system
Yeah.
because he would know which decision is right and which decision is
Right.
wrong. Versus
He
like you
already
play as
had
the kid.
everything set in place because he knew what he needed to do.
Yeah. So like that ambiguity to this game makes sense. But it but it is annoying nonetheless.
Yeah, it's annoying in the sense that, I mean, thinking about the fact that you and me come from the hard generation of everything was trying to teach us a lesson, whether it was TV shows, books, games, movies, everything had a lesson to learn.
Mhm.
And that is not present with this game. So that really bugs me because that's something that's kind of stuck with me the whole time. And that has been a major pet peeve of mine, or a grievance you could call it, because I was sitting down with Tegan the other day and watching some of her videos with her. And she likes to watch these people who play Bluey with like still action characters, like Lego characters and stuff like that. They
Yep.
simulate Bluey episodes. But the problem is, these people, like a lot of her videos, are showing them that it's okay to do bad things as long as they say sorry when they're done. And that bugs the
I
fuck out of
had
me.
I had a thought about this yesterday, 2 days ago. It would have been yesterday. Driving home from work, maybe it was I don't know. Monday, driving home from work, because yesterday was a stat.
Yeah.
And I'm driving home. It's kind of dark out. Whatever. It happens. It's winter time in Saskatchewan, so the days are short as hell. And I watched a mother with her young daughter and their dog as they stopped at the corner that was not a crosswalk
Mhm.
for about zero point 0.6 of a second, saw that there was cars about 50 feet off this way and me and my truck about 150 feet off this way, and thought we can make it if we run.
That's
And I watched as she grabbed, like, pulled her daughter with her, and then they both broke out into a run to cross the intersection in front of the train of vehicles that was at this point 30 feet from them
right.
as they started to slow down. And I had the thoughts like, what is the lesson
Yeah.
to be learned in that?
Like, did you not listen to Toy Story growing up about look both ways before you cross the street? Like,
Before
what
you
the
cross the
fuck?
street, it's like, what are we what are we teaching here?
what,
What's the lesson to be
what are we
learned?
doing here?
That we don't have to cross if we run, or like we don't have to look both ways if we run for it, like, or there's cars there but they're not going to stop for us, so we need to run. Like,
Yeah.
what's the urgency required to
What's
make that
the end
decision?
game here?
What's the end game? What's the goal? What's the motive?
Well, that's just
Because
it.
like I
Like,
talk I make that statement a lot, I think, to like my boss, where it's like we'll be talking about customers that like purposefully say dumb shit.
uh huh.
It's like, or like they insist they know better. And like when I don't understand something, it's always like, what is there to be gained from that choice?
Yeah.
What's the upside here? Like, where do you walk out ahead? And like I have friends that have asked me for advice on stuff. It's like, okay, like every decision has an outcome.
Right.
So you need to know what that outcome could be before you make the decision, or at least as near a guess as you can, so that you can make the best decision you can with what little time you have to make it.
Right.
Don't go in blind. Go in hoping that maybe you're close to the outcome.
Right. You want to try
And then
and
make
go
your decision
in
based on
at
that.
least mildly educated, if not mostly informed.
Natural selection giving them a push is pretty close, Mike, but like
I'm fully believe I
we
fully
got
believe that natural
hey
selection is dead right alongside common sense, because that's how we got here. Like,
hey Mike, here's a fun here listen, we need to bring it back a little bit. This is one of my favorite ones to bring up to my boss, who's like 69, 70 years old now, is when you strutted on to the lot in your bell bottoms with your fancy disco shirt, you bought yourself your first brand new 1976 Chevrolet Camaro. It came with a guide on how to lash the valves. Vehicles
fuck.
today come with a sticker that says "Do not drink the battery acid." Okay,
Yeah.
how have we how have we
How
fallen
far
this far
we've
as a
yeah,
society?
how far we've fallen. Jesus Christ.
We were titans of common sense at one point, and now it's like, what are we doing here?
Innovation
I see
stopped.
stuff like that all the time. That's why I do still really enjoy shows, like especially children's shows. I learned this when I lived with my godson's family,
Right. Yep.
because like I would watch shows with my godson when I was on a day off, because they'd be like, "Could you watch him while we
Right.
go get groceries, or do you want to come get groceries with us?" I'd be like, "No, I'll hang
Right.
out at home."
Understandable.
So I would do what you do. I would watch shows with my godson, or in your case with Tegan.
Yeah.
And shows like Paw Patrol and Bluey were like by far my favorite. I remember when Bluey came out, that was revolutionary. It's like we were going back to prime time, baby. It's one of those things where it's like that show has Bluey specifically has actual lessons that it is trying to teach.
Yes, which is
And it
why so
was
many parents love it.
like going back to like Mr. Dress Up and Mr. Rogers,
Yeah.
and like Lunette the Clown, which is a very Canadian pull.
Yeah.
Um,
Fuck, just, oh man. Please
Franklin,
don't get me started on that one.
Thomas the Tank Engine,
Arthur.
Arthur. These are all shows
Mm-hmm.
that were written and animated, or like
Or acted
written
out.
and produced with the intent to teach children lessons.
Right.
So like I think part of it was so that parents could feel less guilty about allowing their kids to watch TV, but like the other part was like, this is like a jump start on your worldview education, right?
Yeah.
We're going to teach you that you should just be nice to people.
Yeah, like this is going to teach
but-
you how to operate in modern society without being
Yeah.
a menace.
Yeah, or like without shoving it down your throat.
Yeah.
We're doing it in a palatable format.
Well, and for me, a personal favorite for that was Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo is another really good one. Scooby-Doo taught me that you can't trust billionaires and corporations.
Yeah.
Still right to this day.
Yeah.
It
also taught us to look at the facts. Don't just go in with assumptions. You know,
Yeah.
go in educated.
Go and educated. So like when I see even some older kids shows, but like lots of modern kids shows where it's like, or like the example that you're giving is probably a YouTube series.
It is, but I do have an
Not-
actual TV series that applies to this. Blippi. Blippi
Yeah.
can fuck off and die, honestly, because I do not care to watch a grown-ass ex-military soldier that acts like he's autistic jumping in a ball pit and learning how to make crayons, and then on live TV joking about eating the red one, which, and as an adult, yes, is fucking humorous if you know that he's
Makes
ex-military.
sense, yeah. Mhm.
But when it's a kid's
Classic
setting,
countryman.
yeah, when it's a kid's setting, that's not teaching them anything. That's just teaching them it's okay to taste your crayons. Like
Which
that's
is not.
no, it's not.
It's like, um, yeah, the Looney Tunes, the Muppets, and Sesame
Yeah,
Street. Sesame
even
Street's another classic example of that. Muppets less so, I think, but like
Muppets.
Sesame
I mean,
Street,
Muppets and Looney
Sesame
Tunes
Street
less
talks to
so were
kids
about
anyways.
lessons, but they still had lessons to teach you. Like the biggest person in Muppets that taught you lessons was Kermit.
Well, that was his job.
Exactly. There was still lessons there. Looney Tunes, yes, that was purely for fun and meant as a joking setting, hence the cartoon. But there was still a lot of lessons that were very evidently present, and they made it very clear that that was the intent. But kids, have you noticed that a lot of shows today don't even come with the PG-18 warning anymore of please do not, viewer discretion be advised? They don't, a lot of them don't have that anymore
None of them.
because they're just like, hey, here
Yeah.
you go. If you want to try this, go ahead, jump off the roof of your house. Nothing bad's going to happen. Like you'll just fucking respawn point A, like kind of thing. This is not a video
This
game.
reminds
This is
me
real life.
of when we talked about conspiracy theories. And
Fair.
did I tell you about the comedian that does a bit about how the deep state decided like they were trying to solve the overpopulation problem, and they decided that the way to do that would be to irradiate people passing through airport security.
No, what?
So it's like, here's what we're gonna do. It's like everybody here flies private. Like yes, yes. It's like okay, so the masses, we're gonna send them through this metal gate, and it's going to irradiate them. It's going to kill them slowly and over time. And then they will die, and their assets come back to us, and we shall have all the wealth. Yes, yes. It's a Bill Burr bit where
Ah,
he's making fun of like the deep state
right,
conspiracy
okay.
theorists.
Yeah, that makes sense. It
Like
would be a Bill Burr bit because he doesn't give a fuck what people think about him. He says it how it
I'm
is.
sure I'm sure there would be a whole conspiracy theory about like the lack of ratings on children's TV shows and like the viewer discretion, right?
Yeah,
Because yeah, that just kind of went away overnight.
yeah,
Like
it
you don't
did.
even
It
see
just
that on adult TV shows
no.
anymore.
One moment it was there, the next it's not.
But the next it was gone.
Yeah,
I wonder if there's a reason for that. I'd I'd love to like see. Maybe I'll do a
I
little
think
dig
I
on
think
that
one of the I
for
think
next
one of the
week.
wildest shows that I I haven't watched the whole thing, but I had to watch bits and pieces of it in passing because Mum and Hope were very obsessed with it for a while. The one show that if any show out there deserves to have that fucking viewer discretion warning on is Euphoria, and it didn't have it. It did not. Literally a show about drugs, alcohol, sexual crimes, and relationship problems and like rehabilitation, and it did not have any viewer discretion rating on it. That is wild and so unhinged. I don't understand how that even got approved without a rating, you know? But like
So
the instance that brought me to this subject that really made me upset was the other night I was sitting and watching TV with Tegan, and that YouTube channel of these grown ass fucking people who use Legos of Bluey to recreate episodes of Bluey.
mhm.
They alter them in a lot of the episodes. Bingo or Bluey is doing something that they know they shouldn't. Like the episode that we watched the other night that genuinely pissed me off and made me think about telling Tegan she wasn't allowed to watch this anymore. Bingo was shoving things down the toilet, like phones, toilet paper, a tablet because it's, a kid's show about Lego, whatever. Just things that shouldn't be there. She plugged the toilet, flooded the house, and the parents, I always forget their name, Bandit and whatever the mom's name is, were like, what's going on? Why is the toilet flooding? And Bingo goes, oh, haha, I shoved all this stuff down there as a prank. And Bandit looks at Bingo while they're wading waist deep in shit water from their toilet and goes, haha, that was a funny prank. No, it's not. The fucking housing damage that little shit just caused, along with all the electronic damage and everything else because there was phones and everything. That is not funny. If I would have done that, I would have been living on the fucking street.
Oh man, that is the most
Like,
adult sentiment, but also like the most understandable sentiment. Like, who's
how is
who's
that
coming up with
okay?
that?
Yeah, like, how is that okay?
How did we get there? It's
Uh,
like, well, they
thank,
already did all the good life
thank you, Dad.
lessons,
Thank you
so
for the vote of confidence, Dad. I appreciate it. Might I direct the attention to what Dad means by uncensored? Was we used to watch a TV show late at night called Fails on Wheels, and it was all about people doing dumb shit with cars. And the lesson there was we would watch something, me and Dad would laugh our asses off at it, and then Dad would look at me and say if I ever do something like that, he'd take my keys away. That was the lesson. Don't do that shit. It's funny to watch when it's not you, but if you're ever the one doing it, don't expect sympathy.
yeah.
But
You,
I just,
you're
yeah,
looking for sympathy. It's between shit and syphilis in the dictionary. You're
Yeah.
getting it from me.
exactly. So that's what brought me onto this subject, was because I saw that, and I've seen many other episodes like that. Like, another one that comes to mind is Bluey and Bingo complaining about the house they live in because it doesn't fit the standard of play that they want. So they convince their parents to move into a completely useless castle tower that has a slide from the top to the bottom that is literally falling apart, and they will kill themselves on it, but they don't care because it's fun. And the mother's like, well, I don't know, this doesn't seem safe. What's wrong with our house? And Bandit's like, nothing, but we're doing it to keep them happy. I'm sorry, in what world do kids get to bully their parents into moving to a different house just because their house doesn't have a built-in fucking slide? Okay, bye, Chris. You still here?
My bad. My bad. Wrong button.
Fuck, I didn't think
Oh,
my
no.
story was that bad. Jesus.
Listen, I know you wanted to talk about your pet peeves. I wasn't discrediting that.
Like, I just saw your camera and character from stream just disappear, and I was like, well, okay. Sorry. But it sets that precedent of, like, why is this okay? This is not something that we were taught growing up, and the fact that the people who are now parents that were taught all these lessons growing up through various media outlets are the ones that are now not only directing, writing, making these shows that have no precedent for that, and it's just mindless, honestly, mindless banter and bullshit, and borderline criminal with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay. I don't understand where this thought process has gone in this world.
So, my tidbit of worldly my nugget of timely wisdom for you on this one is you absolutely can just like find a way to have that never appear again.
Oh, we've taken plenty of them away. Like a
like
very
that one should
popular.
probably go.
It's going to be tomorrow, actually, because I talked to Hope about it today, and she agreed that if that's the kind of stuff that's being displayed on
Yeah,
that, then that's not okay. We've taken quite a few others away, like the very popular Minecrafter Milo and Chip. He does a Minecraft series with his brother Chip, who is using a voice changer to make himself sound like he's like 4. And all they do is destroy each other's things in Minecraft and make each other mad. And Tegan thought that was okay, and for a while, whenever she'd play Minecraft, she would destroy the stuff other people were building and laugh about it, and then she would physically throw hands with you if you touched her stuff. I told her no more, that's it. We took away Milo and Chip, and for about 6 months, she didn't play Minecraft at all because of that. So I just,
yeah, there's
it's really,
I
it makes it really hard though to censor everything, because there are a lot of things that are still okay, but then you have that one episode of that show where it's like, okay, that's not okay. now you're asking yourself how many of the other episodes did you miss that kind of stuff, and is it worth taking that away? Because you can't. I mean, she's 5 now. She's obviously not interested in watching the Wiggles. I mean, it's not like the Wiggles are teaching anybody anything either, but they're also not teaching you to be a bad child and break things or destroy other people's lives, you know?
You know what? I actually think the Wiggles could teach a fair bit.
I am a bit
They
biased
teach
towards the
you about
Wiggles, but
it's
that's
yeah. I mean, I'm with
that's
Mike on that. See, here's the thing. I was talking to Dad about this the other day, and um, him and I kind of agreed on this. It is uh kind of a scary world to live in, where like when we grew up, phones were something you didn't get until much later.
right.
So there was like the go outside and play, and don't be a shithead, and like there was no photographic evidence of anything.
Yeah. Everything
And
was
then
memories. That's what made storytelling fun.
eventually you hit a point where phones became very prevalent,
Yeah.
and everybody had a TV, and it became impossible to like my brother and his fiance have they have my nephew who's 9 months old. He already gets a vast amount of screen time,
Yeah.
which is probably not
Oh,
great.
I'm aware. Me and him were playing Battle Sector last night, and he woke up and he got to watch as we played Battle Sector. Because I heard a few times your brother say, "No, you're losing the phone if it goes in your mouth." Okay, that's going in your mouth. You're losing the phone. And then I heard as he smashed the desk a little bit.
Yeah,
So
it's
I get it. I do get it, and that's
the
the problem. Is we're in an age of technology, so it's gonna make it really difficult to censor everything. So it's kind of a picking and choosing and hoping you're making the right decision. But
my dad made the point that at some point we're going to have to go through like a great reset again, where
yeah,
it goes back,
yeah,
because we've learned that I hope beyond hope that the lesson that's being pulled out of this is it's not effective.
yeah,
Like, yeah, everybody's busy. Lots of households have two people that work. It's impossible to be there paying attention at all times.
hmm
But like
well, and in a lot of cases, both people in the
this isn't
household
the
working is
solution.
still not enough.
Yeah.
Like
Well, like
even when I was able to work full time and I was working all that overtime and everything that put myself in the situation I'm in now, Hope was still working full time. Mom still works full time. And we had my sister living here at the time who was working part time in healthcare, which, albeit it pays pretty good. It's just a lot of hell to go through for that paycheck. But even then, some of the bills were still tight, whether it was bad decision making or bad budgeting or just the fact that pricing for everything keeps going up at a rapid pace. It just wasn't enough for full grown adults even. It's insane.
my boss and I had this conversation today. We were talking about the cost of living.
Yeah.
And he has a very unique perspective, which is he's a boomer and he doesn't care. So
Oh
he's
god, I already know
like,
where this is going.
so I talked to you a little bit about it earlier, but
Yeah.
I was trying to hire my sister-in-law
Right.
because she's like the prime candidate.
Right.
Like she's exactly what we need,
And it would help
and
her and your brother out.
it would help them out. It would help me out.
Yeah, it's a
It would
win-win.
help Kelly. Like it would help my boss out. It's We're winning across the board. It's
Yeah.
super bonus territory.
Yeah.
And Kelly, like my boss fucked the dog on this so hard that when I finally got a text back from my sister-in-law today, I sent her the message this morning. I was like, "Hey, could you come in tomorrow for an interview? Because we need we need answers to questions we don't have the access, we can't access the information to."
Mhm.
And somebody who's currently experiencing this can tell us what we're missing.
Right.
Um, we like, could you come in? We want to interview you. We would like to hire you. We just need to know kind of like the basic questions like, one, do you want to work full time or part time?
Right. Like, what's
Can
your
you start working
availability?
right away? Yeah, like, can you start working now, or do you have to wait till your maternity leave is up because she's still on maternity leave? Um, like, what what is a wage worth to you? Like, what do you want? Like, if you're part time, do
Hmm.
you like, are you looking like 18, $19 an hour? Are you looking more? Because like, there's a glass ceiling on how much we can afford.
Right.
And so after finally getting the approval from the owner of the company, which admittedly we got after I told her we wanted her to come in for an interview. Um, I jumped the gun a lot because I was like, "Fuck him!" Like he doesn't get it. We had a whole conversation about that too, like the actual owner of the whole company.
Right. Yeah.
And then she sends me a message. She's, "Oh well, I found a job," which is good for her. I'm not going to begrudge her that fact. I am a little disheartened because like now it's back to the drawing board. Got to find another person.
Right.
And she would have really fit the niche well because at this point we could probably afford a part-time employee,
Hmm.
but there's not that many people that want to work part-time, and there's not that many people that have all of the skills we require, so that we're not teaching you how to scan a packet of documents and send it to the accountant at the end of every week. We're just teaching you what the packet of documents says and how to make sure that it's right before you send it off,
Yeah.
so that when you come in next or when we come in on Monday, we're not going back through and fixing it all.
Right.
Or like we're not trying to remember like what the name of the customer was. We literally had that today because I had written a name and he couldn't read one of the letters, and
Mm.
he was like, "What's what does this say?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, read it out." He goes, "Well, it says Prairie something fertilizers," and I was like, "I don't. That doesn't make any sense to me." And he's like, "This is like I just don't get it." He shows it to me. I go, "That's a B. It's Prairie Basin fertilizers." He goes, "Oh." I was like, "That's my bad. I should have written that clearer, right? My hands are bad and I struggle to write
Right.
because I was never good at handwriting, and that's only gotten worse as I've
No,
gotten
and
older."
yeah, because now your hands are right shit.
So
For
it
context
was
on that, I'm
absolutely
kind of
fried.
calling you out a little bit because you got your webcam on. When we played the final sentence demo, I watched this man before every round shake his fingers out and rub them together to warm them up
Yeah,
because this man should be playing with gloves on because I'm pretty sure he's got onset arthritis.
I do have arthritis actually. I I can crack pretty much every bone in my hand just by clenching a fist at this point, which is
And see,
not good or healthy.
when
I'm doing
I,
it right now.
yeah,
I
no,
can
I
do it
know.
repeatedly.
I can do that with one of my thumbs because
Both
I
hands.
dislocated it when I was in football. I put, you know how like they teach you to grab the guy's chest plate when you're on the line and try to direct him where
Yep.
he's going. I did that only except my hand accidentally slid inside of his chest plate. Like his jersey was really loose, so it slid inside his chest plate. He turned one way, I turned the other, heard a pop, and I pulled my hand out, and my thumb was bent the wrong way.
Backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not only that,
I did that once.
not only that, but my wrist was popped out. So I literally had to pop. And then I asked my coach, am I still good to play? I watched this guy turn green in the gills and almost throw up because he just watched a 14-year-old guy pop two joints back into place in a matter of seconds. And without going, ow, look at him and say, am I still good to play, coach? Put me in. I'll play center field.
My One of my high school coaches, when I was doing my tryouts for senior football team, it's like the last year I played. I've always had problems with my right shoulder. I learned this playing volleyball in like the 8th grade. I went for a spike and
Oh,
I
yeah.
hit it right, and my shoulder popped backwards and my
Oh,
arm dropped.
fuck.
So my 8th grade teacher, who was a real G, taught me how to pop my shoulder back into place, which is an electric sensation. But does hurt a lot.
Please tell me he showed you the Die Hard technique. Like, you went full
Um,
on rigs and rammed your shoulder against a wall.
yeah, basically he was like, all right, you're gonna grab just above your elbow with your bicep. You're gonna line it up close, and then you're just gonna slam your arm into a wall, like you're gonna slam your upper body into a wall, and then you'll feel it pop back into the socket, and it's gonna hurt a little bit. And that's how he explained it to me. So I've
Is
only
it
ever dislocated my right arm twice.
fair? Is it just me, or when you've hurt yourself in any particular way, and you need to do something to reverse the damage, like whether you have a splinter stuck or you like got metal shards, gouged in you, just whatever the case. I say splinter and metal shards because that happened to me when I was in construction.
Yeah,
I actually had a sliver
both
from
hands, baby.
I had a sliver from a 4x4 jam itself Spanish style right in between my nail and my finger bedding on my thumb. I had to take my knife I had, which I had my hunting knife on me that day, and I sat in our front end loader and I whittled my thumbnail away until I could pull the splinter out. But back to what I was saying, is it just me, or when you hurt yourself, it almost feels more comforting when the person who's trying to help you says, "Hey, listen, this is going to hurt. We're not going to lie to you here. This is what you should expect." Because
Oh, 100%.
the fuckers that look at you and say, "Just count to 3 and then pull on 1," I will knock a bitch out. Because I would rather you do it at the time you specify, knowing that it's going to hurt, because we need to mentally prepare for that pain.
I I have a mild aversion to pain, so being warned about it is I say mild. I have a pretty extreme aversion to pain. I will avoid getting hurt if I
Well,
can.
nobody wants to get hurt
Um, but like,
unless you're a sick
yeah,
fuck.
that's always nice. Is when they're like, yeah, hey, listen, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Back to the football story. So I'm in the 11th grade, trying out for the senior team.
Mhm.
That's not what he said, Ollie, and you know it. Um, anyways,
I what
thought
I
you wouldn't notice what we did.
what I said was nobody wants to hurt themselves unless you're a sick fuck. So we know what blue is.
So, anyways, my shoulder was dislocated
Right.
because I did not prepare for a tackle properly. We were doing running tackle
Oh.
drills,
Yeah.
and it was my turn to. We were doing opposed running tackle drills. So you run,
Yeah, head on.
you start in the same spot on opposite sides of like a line of guys, and then you come out and you swing in and you just like head on into each other. Zigged when I should have zagged. He hit me like here, and we were both pretty low, and I went upside down and he went through me like a Charlie Brown cartoon.
Oh
And then I hit the
no.
ground flat on my back, and then I stood up and my arm was just limp behind me while one of the guys held me up. And they were like, "Hey, what's up with your shoulder, dude?" And I went, "Ah, shit."
It's out
And
again.
one of my coaches, and like, this is the second time it's ever happened in my life. Like 4 years between instances. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. That shoulder's not very good." And I walked up to the wall at the soccer center, which is the field by St. Joe's, because it's in
Right, yep.
that field.
Yep.
And I walked through the gate. I had one of the guys hold my padding back. I held my arm up and I just fucking like hit full into the wall, and
Yeah.
it went fuck. And it was like, oh. And then I was like, hey, look, my arm's back. And I watched one of my coaches was like, is this going to keep happening? And I went, I don't know. This is the second time it's ever happened. And he went, and he just looked at me. He goes, you know, it's not supposed to do that, right? And I went, yeah, thanks.
You don't say.
Thanks, health sciences teacher. I'm glad.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm
And,
glad I wasn't the only one that had a health science teacher as a sports coach. Grade 9, my health science
all
teacher,
of them.
he was fucking
Always.
6'8", 400 pounds, and this guy was built like a strong man. Like he literally looked like a more hairy version of Brian Shaw.
Okay, yeah.
And it scared the fuck out of me because I was the biggest kid in class. So guess who got chosen as the teacher's pet for wrestling training in the middle of the gym? Not a fan. I didn't enjoy it. I did not like being fucking suplexed by a guy twice my size, and I'm already a big guy at the time at 6'3" and 320 pounds, and this man towered over me and made me look like fucking small.
Yeah. I remember the practice ended that day, and I was in a lot of hurt, and I just looked at the head coach for the football team and went, "You know what, coach? I'm just gonna walk off. Actually, I'm not playing football no more."
Yeah, I'm done.
And I shook his hand, and I gave my jersey back to the team managers, and I walked away, and I never played football again. That was the last time I ever played football, because like the summer before, I'd gotten into sailing through the cadet program, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not very good at sports,
I could see
so I
it.
was like,
You
well,
dyslexic
I'll just keep
fuck.
sailing. I lack coordination sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard to do the finger tap exercise because I actually have to like think about it, which digit I'm moving at the right time. So like even manipulating my hands requires mental effort.
And see, thankfully, I was pretty good at that, which was why I was able to
It's
do.
weird that I'm good at video games at all,
Fair.
very honestly. And even then, I still struggle with video games. Like I was playing Final Fantasy
Yep.
16 because I've been knocking I like you also have a video game list that I wish to play through in my
Right.
life.
Right.
And so the the two Final Fantasy entries on that are 15 and 16 because I've never finished 15 and I've never played 16. So I thought on Sunday I was like, you know what? I'm going to play 15. I'm going to start running through it because Tuesday's a stat. I'll have all day to play.
Right.
It'll be great. So Sunday I load up 15. Game's broken. Load into it, and it's just the camera spinning around. And I thought at first it was my
Ah,
controller, so I unplugged it. That didn't change nothing.
loading screen of
Tried
death.
manipulating my mouse. Tried manipulating my mouse. Camera's still spinning around. Nothing's fixing it. Hitting the buttons on my keyboard.
Oh,
It's it's still taking inputs,
right.
but
But
nothing is happening.
right. Ah,
So I went, all right, cool. This game's broken. I'll come back to it later. I'll re-download it another time and I'll play it then. So I uninstalled 15 and installed 16. And then I went to bed. Monday night, I started Final Fantasy 16. And that was the beginning of this tale of woe and sorrow. My computer hates it. And I don't know why. Here's some things I know about the Final Fantasy games to be true. One, they're all extremely graphically intensive.
right.
I knew that going in. I have a relatively modern graphics card. Didn't be a problem. The second thing I know is that they're extremely well optimized. There is a little bit of debate on that, but the newer ones are for sure. Like 15 and 16, I've heard run decently on even older computers.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of benchmarks of lower spec computers where they run playably. But it's a Final Fantasy game. There's lots of bloom and particle effects.
Uh-huh.
There's lots of everything happening all the time. So when I first loaded into the game for the first sequence, which is like the prologue, where you meet the protagonist whose name, his call sign is Wyvern. You meet him, and the game's playing at like 30 frames per second. I was like, okay, this isn't enough, but this is passable. So I went into my graphics settings, I turned everything to low,
Okay.
and then it got worse.
Oh,
So I was like, well, that's weird.
that's not
So
right.
that's wrong. So I turned DLSS on, and it went back. And I was like, okay. And it's so my frame rate's back, but everything now looks terrible. Whatever. Let's continue on. I get through the first act. I get into where we learn that the protagonist's name is actually Clive. Clive Rossfield. Cool guy. Blessed by the Phoenix, a Shield of the Flame. And you get like his backstory as a character. Like, this is dope. And it runs really well. And I'm like, that's strange. And then I exit that and the game crashes. And so I reload the game and it goes back to the prologue sequence and it's running phenomenally. I'm like, cool. This is bizarre. I played through the entirety of the prologue and through all of Act 1 in 14 hours with all of the side quests. And it was only the last 3 hours where I found the biggest thing that was causing like the biggest improvement, which is what I was playing with earlier. I was playing Battlefield. I was messing with my settings. That's why, because I was trying to figure out what was causing it. In the NVIDIA app, you can change what device is used to scale your display, whether it's the graphics card or the display itself.
Okay.
It defaults to the display because displays have a processor that they use for rendering images. The graphics card sends the encoded signal. The display shows you the picture.
Right.
I changed it to the graphics card. My frame rate tripled.
Jesus.
I went from 30-ish on the high side to 120 on the high side. My average frame's still about 80. In combat, it drops to about 45. But now it's more playable.
Yeah.
And I went into the final fight of the first act with that frame rate, which thank God I did, because I almost lost it a couple times. It was close. It was a nail biter. All that to say, I did get a good experience of the game, despite my initial graphical difficulties. Final Fantasy XVI's peak. It's so good. If you have no experience with Final Fantasy games, I think 16 is a great one to get into, unless you want to play the older ones, in which case I would recommend playing the older ones first. Because if you go from that to this is awesome. If you go from this to that, this is great. Why does it suck? Right? Like, going backwards with the Final Fantasies will not do you favors unless you're playing like 7 Remake as opposed to 7, just because of the violent graphical changes. And like, Final Fantasy was originally a turn-based role-playing game, like a turn-based JRPG.
Yeah.
And 13 makes the first notable change to the combat style, and then 14 is an MMO, and then 15 is, I'm going to call it a button masher with a skill ceiling.
Kind of like a hack and slash?
So, kind of. It has RPG stuff to it.
Right.
But the combat system is one button. And there are abilities you can toggle between.
Interesting.
Like, you can like, the abilities are all hot swaps to your directional pad. So you can, like, I want Prompto to do his ability now. And you hit down. And you can chain those together if you're really good. So 15 you play as the boy band, as they're lovingly referred to, which is Noctis and his Kingsguard.
Right.
16 you play as Clive. 16 is an over-the-shoulder action RPG.
Oh, okay.
15 is not necessarily that. It's close, but this is like very clearly an evolution of the gameplay style, because Square is trying to keep the games new.
Yeah.
Because every Final Fantasy game is compartmentalized. They have bits that overarch with each other, but they are all independent games. The characters of 7 will have no bleed over to 8, will have no bleed over to 9, will have no bleed over to 10 and 10 2, to 11 to 12 to 13 to 14, 15, 16. Like, there is no overlap between them, except for the overarching story that the Final Fantasy games tell.
Okay.
And that's all like late game stuff. It all becomes the same. It's all about the archons and the crystals and the gods and people. 16 is a lot of fun. It's a really good RPG in the way that when the game, lots of RPGs do this, and this is something that maybe you've learned. How many times in an RPG has a game told you to care about somebody or like a group of people or something, and then given you no impetus to care?
Yeah, quite
Like
a few
every time?
times. Yeah.
Like every time. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, there's very few times where games do that well, where it's like you should care about the Quarians and their flight against the Geth,
Yeah. But
or
then
you
but
should
then you don't
care
even
about,
fucking meet them till the third game.
yeah, or you should care about the Krogans and the Genophage. But like then the resolution of that doesn't come till the
The
third
third
game.
game.
The second, the technically the second game, but like the
Or
payoff is the third game,
or like me,
right?
the ongoing one still for me is the Drell. You know, like
Yeah,
they tell you should care about the Drell because they were assassins trained by the Hanar, and there's supposed to be a Drell arc on its way somewhere to Andromeda with the rest of you, but where is it? Still haven't met.
nobody knows.
Yeah, and as far as I remember, the Drell arc
You
is
don't.
not among the list of missing arcs to look for either. So
Yep,
where the fuck
correct.
is it?
So what happened there?
Yeah,
Um, it's in 16's
that's fair,
lore.
Stephanie. Game expensive. Game
Yeah,
need
I
money.
bought it on sale, straight up.
Game need money. Money need buy. Buy no work.
Um, I I would state that having played through what I've gotten to so far, I do think it's worth it to
That's
buy.
fair.
Like at retail, it is a very, very good game. I did have the thought while I was playing it that like this game almost makes me want to buy a console again to just not have to deal with graphical issues.
Yeah.
But then I thought about the fact that even on a console, I don't think these would be alleviated because like every console has issues with games like that. But in back to the lore of 16. So in 16, very similar to the other Final Fantasy games, the Mother Crystals provide blessings
Uh huh.
to the residents of the worlds with which they reside. This is known fact. In 16, the world in question has been faced with a blight that nobody knows why it is occurring.
Okay.
It is also known that there are people that are known as bearers, like a flag bearer, and they host an innate ability at birth to influence Aether. Think like a sorcerer in D&D. They have
Right.
an innate access to magic
Right.
just because of the way that, like, just because of their birth.
Yeah.
And then there are special bearers that are called dominants. And dominants are people who are chosen by the icons. The icons are gods.
Yeah.
After you do the prologue, or the backstory stuff, you learn the truth that there are people who are marked, which is to tell that they are slaves, whether it be like you. And in the backstory, it's given that people who have been branded are exclusively generally criminals.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you go back to the present day, you learn that the protagonist is marked. He's been branded. He is a slave,
Yeah.
and the prologue tells you why. But like the game tells you to care about the branded and gives you every reason to care about them along the way. Not even just limited to the fact that the protagonist himself is branded. Like that has very little to do with it. It's like look at, and it gives you like the whole gimmick of the game. You meet a character named Sid, who's my favorite, and Sid guides you through the game as like your your mentor. Like, he dispenses you nuggets of timely wisdom, as he calls them, and takes you down shortcuts to destinations which are just like full of monsters. Um, he's a really fun character, but his whole goal is to make a world where bearers and marked can live free, or like they can die how they want, is how he words it. They're not forced to fight in wars. They're not forced to be slaves. They're free people like everybody else, because they are like everybody else. They just have the ability to cast magic. And then you also learn what the counter to that gift is. So you are blessed with the ability to cast magic. The downside is that your physiology cannot handle casting magic. There is a trade-off to that. Um, so when they use bearers as slaves, it accelerates that condition,
Right.
and it's good for no one, right? Because they just die. I made it through the first act. I fell for the trap of a Final Fantasy game, which is as I was leading into the end of the first act, I was like, God damn, this game was fast. But how uncharacteristic of a JRPG to be
Right.
less than 20 hours long. But like, what a phenomenal story it's told in 20 hours. It's also got, and then like the first act ends, and you're just like, what the fuck? What do we do now?
Yeah.
Like I have to see what happens next. It was really good for that because I started playing it Monday night at like 6, and I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I gotta see what happens next. Like it's like the civilization thing, like just one more turn. It was like that. It's like I'll just do one more story mission, or I'll see where this side mission goes. Um, the progression is fun. It has an ability point system, which is not tied to player level. So you do a fight, you get ability points. There is a high total required to upgrade certain things, and like your skills come in the form of learned and mastered. And then like you gain the ability of the Phoenix because you're blessed by the Phoenix. So
Okay.
like you can upgrade those abilities before you master them. So like you need to make a lot of ability points, and the side quests are the way you can do that, because the side quests just like, yeah, here's 200 ability points. Thanks for delivering that letter.
Right.
Why that's the thing I don't know, but it's a cool way of doing it, and the game doesn't overload you with side quests. At least it
Mm,
hasn't yet.
right.
That's probably about to change because it's a Final Fantasy game, so the second act is usually like, welcome to JRPG Town. You fell for our trap.
That has been one
Um,
of my qualms with Mass Effect throughout all four games is
so many
I
side quests.
did not enjoy the literal metric fuck ton of side quests. Like, where, in what moment of time did they think, hey, let's make a game that has 17 main story missions, but you're going to have to do 30 side missions in between each story?
One of my favorite, there's a side quest that stands out to me. In 16, at least throughout the first act, all of the side quests had like a narrative reasoning to them. So like the big part of the reason is that it's part of Sid's faction is to help people. So going out and helping people is a good thing, and you should do that if you have the ability to. And right as you're leading into the end of the first act, there's a side quest in like a farming area where a noble asks you for help because his son's being attacked by a wolf. And
Okay.
he insults you the whole time that he's asking you for help. He's just mocking you. He's like, "Well, you're a branded, so go do the thing."
Wow.
And so I went and did the thing. You can turn down every side quest. You can reject it and it disappears.
Okay.
Um, if you want. Makes the game way harder, but you could do it. I went, I saved the kid, and the kid was like, "You're not supposed to win." And he gives you shit because you killed his pet.
What the fuck?
And so then you have to go back to the noble to turn in the quest. And the noble insults you because, yeah, that was a trained wolf that they had, and they were abusing their privilege, and they were sending Branded off to go fight the wolf to save his son, and the wolf was killing them. And so you were supposed to be the main act. you were meant to be the entertainment, not the savior.
Oh.
And then it gives you an option. It gives you a choice. It's like the first time in the entirety of the game where you get to make a decision, where you can choose to. It asks you whose branded you are. It's like, I am the Dame's branded, who's a key character that you meet as part of the story, or you are you're your own branded. Like, I am my own boss.
Right.
So I chose that I am my own boss, and then he's like, well, we're going to be coming for you with a bigger and badder wolf next time. And I was like, okay, cool. So like, I'm going to get a payoff in like the next act of a more vicious fight with a bigger enemy. That checks out. It's Final Fantasy.
Right.
And then it sends you to go bury the bodies of the bears or the bears that have been killed by this wolf. And as you're doing that, you meet an NPC who's not branded, and he's just like, yeah, thanks for doing that. Those guys are scum. And I'm here to help bury the bodies on the dame's order. She just so that there's nothing left for the crows. And so you're doing that, and then you hear yells coming from the noble's house, and then he just kind of looks at you with these dead eyes, and he goes, "That's what happens when you let a wild wolf into your home." And then Clive goes, "Did you do that?" He goes, "They're the ones that asked to buy a wolf. What was I gonna do? Say no?" And he's like, "And that's just two less scum to deal with now." And then you just kind of like, they just nod at each other and keep burying the bodies.
That's amazing.
And
Holy shit.
It's really fun because it's like, you're not the only people that care about this. It's not just a you problem. And nobody knows how to help them because it's like illegal to help them. And there's the one thing that I thought was kind of weird was that there's like, I'm curious, and maybe I'd have to have save scummed it when I did it, but I'd be curious to know if you chose the other option, if there was a different payoff. Because I don't know.
Oh. Right.
But like, I chose not to say that I was the dame's branded so that she didn't get in trouble.
Right.
I was like, I'll just deal with it. It'll be fine. Like, what are they going to do? Send the garrison after me? I will literally just beat them up at 22 frames per second.
Yeah.
But it's been phenomenal so far. The Final Fantasy games, Steph, are a weird one for me because like, I'm not generally a fan of very long games. I would rather a game have a good story that is told in a concise manner than a really long drawn out game, because I can focus my attention on it for longer. This is like, you and I have been playing Mass Effect relatively in tandem.
Yeah.
In order to keep myself at the same pacing as you, I was like, I'm going to start playing Final Fantasy again because I know it's going to take longer.
Right.
So that way, as you progress, because I watch usually about half before I fall asleep of every stream, so I have an idea of where you are.
Right.
And then, like, okay, like I should go back to Andromeda and I should keep going with the story, or I'll just keep going with Final Fantasy. Like, it doesn't really matter which one. I have two story games that I can play because like, I played Battlefield today, I got my shit stomped in, and I don't want to play Battlefield anymore tomorrow.
Yeah, I heard you.
Instead, I'm gonna play Final Fantasy. So
I heard you going on about that. I need to decide what games I'm playing tomorrow for Twitch exclusive.
I would be willing to come back play some games, or if you got other guys lined up, I will just play some Final Fantasy.
Honestly, it's usually spur of the moment, so if you're like the first one to reach out to me kind of thing after I send out the messages, then you're in kind of thing. That's how I've been playing it. That is how I've been playing it. It's no favorites, just I send out like 8 messages, and the first like 3 or 4 that respond, then I can go, okay, so with this many people I can play this and this and this.
Yeah, that's valid. That's a good segue with the fact that we should probably wrap it up. Go ahead.
Because it is 11:15.
Yeah, it's late as shit, dude.
Yep.
Um,
And
thanks for tuning in
we old.
to the Tangent Room, your leading forefront for all things
That name's
in the
gonna fit.
twinkleological sphere.
That
It
fit.
does.
That name's gonna fit so much better because we had topics laid out for tonight and we got through 2 of them.
We had so many. I'm gonna go back into our Snap conversation, and I'm going to remove the ones we talked about.
You know how many I
So we
erased?
didn't talk.
2.
We talked about Final Fantasy
Correct.
and Will's pet peeve story, and what we forgot last week. We talked about Tower of God a little bit.
Right. But that was from last week. That was not from what we
So
had posted for this week.
When I made my Twinknology reference, so we
Right.
forgot to talk about the class war.
Okay, so next week, Class War, and we're going to need context on the Twinknology reference.
The Twinknology reference is literally just something that I found online, and I thought it was hilarious.
We're still going to need context for next week. You're going to have to tell us a story of how you found it next week.
I'll have to remember how I found it. But yeah. Anyways, the class war is currently ongoing, but we'll give you an update on that next week because it might be coming to a close. On that bombshell, it's time to end.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.